Hello, Daycarn here. Welcome back to Torment. Last episode we found, well, who we were looking for. Alright, onwards. It's a pyre. Inside, a body that's too large burns too slowly. Greasy coils of smoke rise into the night. Villagers circle the bonfire, wailing and shaking. The headman's rough voice continues the ritual. From exile, you are released. Among the mourners, some echo, "You are released." He throws a handful of powder into the fire, metal, salts, perhaps, and a spray of shining embers rises into the night, mostly gold, some green, some purple. From wrath, you are released, they echo him. As the embers float out towards the plains and fade among the stars and campfires, you hear Makina whisper relevantly, "You are released." Makina, listen to me. We need to find the Jihad and protect your memories. Yeah. Find the what? Mickey stares at you dumbfounded, and then she shakes her head. Have a little respect, Tarash. This is my home. We have to save people I've known for years. A moment later, she adds, not to mention the only danger to memories around here is you, Tash. Try your tidal surge on me and I'll burn those fancy eyes right out of your skull. There's a smile on her face, like this isn't the first time Tash has teased her, or that she's promised to a grisly fate in response. Okay. Let's give it like a. You squint your unnatural eyes and focus until the pyre and the villagers and everything else fades away. At last, the blurry campfires resolve into something crisper, and you see faint shadows of men around them. Men in long coats, broad hats, painstakingly cleaning the drizzle and daggers. There are perhaps 100 of them. Nikita sees you staring and grunts. Sad nights. From her tone, it is obvious that they are no friends of hers or yours. Well, what's going on? Meta answers without looking your way. Her eyes are locked on the fire and flesh inside. It's what they do when one of the hill people dies. Never a burial, always upward. Plains people like me, we can bring kindling and weep, but we are forbidden to join the chant. After a pause, she adds, I never got used to the smell of it. Even when they burnt juniper or blossom, it's worse at the end. She shrugs. Then it's done. There's no more wailing for them. It really is a release. She looks thoughtful, but says nothing more. Okay. Try to remember. You mesmerize, the memories buzz, and in the sounds are flickering of meaning. This body is you. Tash. You're a soldier, under the command of someone named Pakir. You're a castoff who can use the tides to destroy memories. You were sent here for something, an object, but exactly what you can't recall. There's something more to it, something insistent, important, and endlessly elusive. No matter how hard you try, it becomes no clearer. I'll wait. Oh, sorry about that. As the body burns, the mourners chant, and you wait in the shadows at the edge of the village. At least the corpse is consumed, and the headmen give a final cry. To the distant dark, you are released. The villagers echo him. They drift away, leaving him alone beside the smoldering pyre. Matakina, with a hiss and a gesture, leads you over. He sniffs the air at the sound of your approach and, with a broad smile, calls out, Kina! His eyes are large, milky marbles. He puts a hand on her shoulder. You return in unpleasant times. She touches his cheeks. I return because the times are unpleasant, Neg. Without another word, the three of you leave from the fire and enter Neg's dark hut. Okay. Neg's home is humble and small, hardly furnished and wholly undecorated. On entering, he lowers his weary onto a hassle and gestures towards similar cushions for you and Matkina. Then begins without preamble. They hung him from a tree, or Greb took daggers to him, called it a pruning. Blind to the other's expressions, he has become oblivious to his own, and he wears his pain angrily. With a grunt he continues, they sent him home by Skimmer, and along with the compact they made to the plains people. He waves at lays a crumpled sheet of paper on the floor. Dick, read it to me. A promise to put an end to our menace, Kina. He shakes his head. Why? We've always paid the blood price for whatever harm we've done. You know that. They know that. Yes, Makina says softly. But the Sand Knights won't take shins. You know that, he grunts. And the military is here to help, Neg. You are who we stand for. The small, the threatened, the hunted. That's who we are too. She takes his hand. Come away. If you tell the knights you are going, they won't force a fight. They have bigger battles ahead, believe me. This is our place, Kina. Packager will give you a home. Trust her. Neg is silent. What happened to your eyes? Read the crumple note. Okay. Read the crumple note. You unfold the compact sent by the Sand Knights. The writing is neat, plain, small, and seems to go on and on in tightly stacked lines. In essence, it's about to safeguard the villages and town of the wastes from the menacing Cohen village. The knights promise that they will undertake steps to assure that they kill the convict, never harm anyone again. Extermination is never mentioned, merely implied. Beneath the knights marshal's shop are signatures from vigorous Bashan mayors, elders of towns and villages of the Waste. The knights ask nothing in return from them. The signatures vow nothing. They merely endorse, justifying whatever the knights undertake. Ugh. Yeah, persuade. Success. Heaves a heavy sigh. Maybe that's true, stranger. This village, it's no more our home than anywhere else in the world. Then he shakes his head. But we just can't go. Makina answers, her voice soft and insistent. Neg, I know this is your home. It is my home too, but it is not safe here. Has set aside land for you all, deep inside our territory, where we can protect you. It's not so simple, he answers. Not so easy. Plains people cannot understand. Makina hisses in frustration and gives you a look. It seems like she's hoping you can move the subliminal fool. What is it we can't understand? For a long minute, Neg turns his blind gaze back and forth between you and Makina. What it means to be a hill person, he says at last. What it's like to wrap yourself in chains every day, he says. But maybe I'm an old fool. You're not the Kina who left. And you, stranger, he trails off. You're a soldier. Maybe you started to understand what it's like to hold yourself back. Makina's answer is sharp. Neg, all my life I've had to restrain myself. But not in the military. It's freedom, Neg. The freedom of knowing what you are doing is right, and so you don't need to hold back. The old man shrugs. Then I was right. You can't understand. You need to make a decision. Neg nods. You're right, of course. He rubs his forehead from what seems like an intermittent stretch, and then finally he goes, we cannot go without the Juck. The what? Makina says. Up the hill behind the gate. The cave being sealed for generations. Inside is the Juck. It's what helps us keep our worst instincts inside. If we leave its song, he trails off and gestures to the pyre outside. He sniffs and then nods with a heavy head again. I will let you know how to open the gates. Carefully describes how each lock must be disarmed, repeating until he's sure both remembered now. He says, you alone on the lone of the plains. People know how to open the gate. You work your way up the traced hill and leaving Neg to make his case to the people. In the distance, you see that the Sand Knights are on the move, riding towards the Cohen village. Neg will Need to make his case to them too. When you arrive at the cave, it is a huge, ancient gateway. Makina shakes her head. For years I wondered about this, she says. The hill people tell a fable that the first man and woman came out of here. They said the gate would only open when it was time for the people to disappear. She shrugs. One way to keep kids from poking around and disturbing the Jahunk. Ugh, we'll work out how to pronounce it sooner or later, I guess. Something she said stirs your mind, and your memories jingle like a wind charm. Try the dredge. Yep. No, I'm gonna fail. At once, a glaring light shines over your mission and painfully ends the reveal. You are not here to help save the village. You are here to help destroy it. She knew the village's secret, knew about the junk, and most importantly, she knew that the Sound Knights would come, knew about their compact. The plan isn't to take the villagers out of the Knight's way. In fact, it depends on causing the very battle Makina promised would be averted. When the Knights arrive, Pajee will destroy the Jahunk, forcing the hill people into their feral state, unleashing them upon the Knights, weakening one of the Matilla's forces, and Pajee is coming in person to see that it all goes right. What exactly are they? Makina sighs and taps her foot impatiently, impatient with her. It seems because she soon rushes forward. An Aeon priest named them tetratomorphs, but they don't use that name or any other. They lived here on this hill for ages. They protected any plains people who sought shelter in the village. She swallows, closes her eyes, and makes sense. They're not humans. Sometimes they change, go wild. Usually it happens to the young, the old. People in other villages call it skin changing, and they call the hill people monsters. She shakes her head. It passes and they change back, but sometimes they leave the village and never turn back. They lose control. People get hurt. With protective edge and environment. She finishes. Family, that's what they are. Family, people. Yeah, after you. Managing strikes of damp logs have kept the cavern sealed. The gas of the gates open. Without waiting, she steps through and you follow. What you find within is no cave tunnel. In fact, there is no stone at all. Rather, a smooth hallway made of greenish ceramic. Under its glow, you and Makina take on the look of an unburied dead. There seems to be no side passages, no chambers, merely a single path that curls ever inward, like you are in the shell of some great nautilus. From time to time the walls are adorned with lifeless ciphers, ancient charts, and scorch marks, as if from a struggle. They tell no tale for you to hear. At last you reach the tunnel's end, and there is a pedestal before you. What must be the joke, and a kind of reed flute that plays an endless formless song, at once almost too faint to hear, too haunting to bear. Whether the music is caused by the breeze blowing through the tunnel or by the jar itself, it's impossible to determine. The ceramic pedestal beneath it, alone of all the devices in the cave, still pulses with living energy, and the energy causes the jar to float, a fraction of it each in the air. It doesn't rest on the pedestal, so much hang above it. So, here it is. Grab it. The moment your hand closes around it, a sliver ripples through your body, a physical premonition of agony swiftly follows. The pedestal's booby trap is triggered. You can neither release the jar or pull it free. Indeed, you cannot move. All except divine cause fear. She splits second before she responds, seems a lifetime, as if it could have been where her reflex not so honed. She slams herself into you, breaking the circuit even as the current passes into her. The two of you lie trembling and smoking on the ceramic floor. Raises first, pulls you to your feet, and takes the jar. Let's go, she grunts. They wait for you at the gate. A woman you immediately know to be Paja, reckon, and her bodyguard. A half a dozen tattooed castoffs with drab armor. Mismatched weapons and likely readiness predators. Past them, in the village below, you can see the Sand Knights have arrived and are meeting with Nareg and the villagers. Without warning, one of the bodyguards lowers his weapon at Nikki and fires, but she's already moving and takes the glancing blow. A knife in her hand as another glaive aims at a new device, making Matakina can fling her blade. She is frozen, trapped in a shimmering energy field. Paja herself aims a tiny sapphire at the Jahat. The others watch and pay you little mind. What do you... Attack them. Okay, you rush forward, knowing that you have only an instant until the killer's eyes and arms are eternally. The instant is shorter than you expected, and the last you know, pain engulfs you. Your body's flung forward into the gate. Bouldering. Okay. Consciousness rises and the shadows click in your mind. Begin to stare at you, shockingly painful. What did you do? I remember Tush cut me. I see the holes in my mind. I remember him forcing me to begin tearing out my history with these tides. But I have other memories now. They're real. Tush didn't do it. I saw him shot with an energy bolt. He was dead. He couldn't have violated it, but he did try, didn't he? Whew! Improved. She holds her head in her hand, shaking, her voice becoming thick. The two strands of memory. This is pulling me apart. She looks up at you, tears streaming down her cheeks. No, it's pulling me back together. I remember now. That hole is almost gone. You changed reality. You changed it. She stands, drying her tears with her sleeves. I don't know if you were meant to do that, but you've done more than your part of the deal. You asked about the rest of the chamber. I know it. Masa's the guy you want. He can fix anything. He might have even helped design the chamber you're talking about. Your best bet is to look for him in the castoff sanctuary. There's a castoff sanctuary? The sanctum, a refuge created by the first Anasai. It's shielded from the sorrow, supposedly, she shrugs. Our siblings like to hide there until they can't stand each other's company anymore. Personally, I don't think anywhere's safe from the sorrow. Not even that place. Yeah. I'll take you, but do not expect me to hold your hand. Probably better that you bring you personally anyway. Keep an eye on you. Make sure you don't get lost or killed. She walks to the table and rolls a map of Saga's Prakane. We're not going to find it by walking there. The entrance to the secret is known only to our kind here. She points to a spot on the map, many kilometers to the northeast of Saga's Cliff. The Valley of Dead Heroes. There's a hidden portal in the necropolis, and in case something happens to me, memorize this. She writes the numbers 3431 down on a slip of paper and holds it in front of your eyes for several seconds, then crumples it in her hand. It's a code. It'll make sense when you get to the necropolis. We'll need an airship to get to the valley. The ladder leads to everything. We should be able to hire a vessel there without too much difficulty. With a glance around the cave, she says, I can't say I'll be sad to leave this behind. Place. Okay, let's go. Woo, we got more party members. And with that, this is Daycarn signing off. Bye. She's fleeting. You have the best feeling of images and information. Ooh, sparkly. Let's get the sparkly before we talk to this guy.